And just to make sure that we're unmuted, I'm going to say these words. Words. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
Boom.
Yes, indeed. We have quite a bit to go over, given the fact that... No, we don't have much to go over. Not this week. That's next week, right? Next week, yes.
Next week we got a pay-per-view week. Next week is Hell in a Cell, baby.
Yeah, but it's going to be hellacious.
Yep. It certainly is. It's going to be brutal as fuck.
Yep. The Fiend versus Seth Rollins.
I can't wait for that match.
Oh, man.
And new.
Man, I don't know about that. Well, then again, you know what? I'm just playing the advocate here. All right? I'm just playing the role of the advocate. Even though I'm the size of most wrestlers and probably have the innate strength to wrestle, I'm just playing the role of the advocate here. So, what if he doesn't win, though? What if he becomes the Fiend Slayer?
No.
He's the Beast Slayer. He's the King Slayer. Then he's the Beast Slayer. He slayed the monster.
So,
I don't know, bro.
There's a couple things. A King Slayer and a Beast Slayer are actual terms, right? A Fiend Slayer is not. Beyond that,
SmackDown wasn't a term. Hold on. SmackDown wasn't a term before The Rock.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Sure it was.
I am telling you this as 100% fact.
Okay.
SmackDown was not a term before The Rock. The Rock created that word. You can look up the history.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, I am. It is. You're right. You're right.
Thank
So,
you.
Here's the thing. That's cool. That doesn't mean... I mean, that's cool. That's awesome. They can invent words. But this isn't inventing a word. It's a term. But that doesn't even matter. I'm just saying the reason that he is called those things is because those were terms that they had, right?
Okay.
Now, the Fiend Slayer, in my opinion, does not have the same ring to it, like, or cachet as it does when you say a King Slayer or a Beast Slayer. It just doesn't. Beyond that, we know Seth and Becky are getting married. They're going on vacation.
And that means someone's got to have the title.
They're not taking the titles on vacation with them first. Sasha's ratchet. She's the champ. Like, she's gonna be. She's gonna take a belt. Now, I don't think they're both gonna lose it necessarily on the same pay-per-view, but I do think it would be a goddamn shame if they were to have, for no real reason, Bray lose a match as the Fiend this early.
I still think the Fiend versus the Demon is coming.
Of course it is. But he has to be scary when the Demon comes after him.
Just trying out the new microphone here. Yeah. As it is. There's a lot that can be done or can be said of like Bray Wyatt and how he has reemerged with this Fiend persona. It honestly gives it's
him losing to Seth Rollins would throw a lot of that out the window.
Yeah.
This early.
He's kind of got the heebie-jeebies. Kind of gives you the heebie-jeebies.
He's got to terrify everyone.
Yeah. But we can't even talk about certain things because that's next week's show. We got to find a way to get.
No, we can say a bit, and I'll say this: the end of Raw last night was scary as fuck.
I was like, I think I might have faded through that part, but from what I see of the images, yeah, it does look like struck a chord on the fear factor.
Yeah, it played out really well, and it was really legitimately like horror movie level good.
Yeah. Okay. So, with that being said, I have my glasses on. Oh, give me a second. Pause. There we go. All right, let's get to this WWE action. All right.
What?
Braun Strowman confronted Universal Champion Seth Rollins. San Francisco. Right now is not a great time to be Seth Rollins. I need to get a message. Message me if you're not hearing me loud enough. I think I'm loud and clear. I'm looking at the meters, and the meters are looking clear. But if you can't hear me loud enough, just, send me a message in the chat or at Dablock online, and I'll just turn those levels up. But as it is, right now is not a great time to be Seth Rollins. Sure, the Beast Slayer still has the Universal Championship, but he got beat up by 5 men last week. Will defend by 5 men, but he got beat up by 5 men last week. Will defend his title against the winner of tonight's Fatal 5-Way elimination match on the season premiere of Raw next week, and has to deal with the living embodiment of a nightmare. The week after that, and to top things off, okay, cool, thank you. The week after that, and to top everything off, Braun Strowman got in his face this week in a confrontation stemming out of the pair's lingering beef from WWE Clash of Champions. Clearly, the monster among men isn't quite over the 0 for 2 with and against Rollins at the most recent pay-per-view, but Rollins was in no mood for Strowman's grudges. The champion got his back up mighty quick when Strowman tried to spin Rollins' words from last week as a passive-aggressive dig. And in the long and short of the confrontation was that the two agreed to a match later on in the evening. Now Strowman has a chance to get some much-needed frustration off his broad chest, while Rollins will put his mantra, "I survive and I prevail," to an enormous test. Alright, well, you can do this one since it's your boys.
Yes, sir. I'm sad about this one, though. I just realized what this was. I was like, oh,
oh snap! I just read it. I read the title again, and I said, "What?"
Yeah. So the Viking Raiders defeat the OC, the original, the only club that matters. It's been a few weeks since Viking Raiders and the OC got into it during the biggest tag team turmoil match in Raw history, costing each other a Raw tag team title match in the process. Ever since then, the two teams have been slugging it out, but this week's Raw brought the first official 2-on-2 bout between the former NXT and Raw tag team champions since that moment, and the biggest victory yet for Eric and Ivar. Clearly, the insurgent pair had not just been feasting on locals for the fun of it. Their wild hybrid offense is so fine-tuned at this point that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were struggling to find answers from the start. AJ Styles' ejection from ringside didn't improve the Good Brothers' odds much. Adding insult to injury, the phenomenal one was ambushed atop the ramp by his rival Cedric Alexander. And an MVP-level performance by the fleet-footed Eric turned the tide permanently in the Raiders' favor. The brothers staved off defeat for a little while longer with a last-gasp effort, but Eric and Ivar got their man all the same. After administering the Viking experience to Anderson, Ivar made the cover while Eric took flight with a suicide dive to take out Gallows on the outside, guaranteeing his team up to 3. It seems odd to call this a statement victory, given what the Viking Raiders have been doing for the last few months. But there's a difference between taking out locals and toppling a world-traveled tag team. Consider this, then, a belated but no less ominous planting of the flag.
Yeeks, we've been talking for the last few weeks about this and how the Viking Raiders have made their presence known. It was like they were heels for the longest time, and then all of a sudden a quick turn into face, and now they are...
Yeah, a face turn, by the way, just before we move on, a face turn that, by the way, was done by just having the locals one night not be silent. Like, when they were beating up silent guys, they were the heels. Then, one night, the locals shit on the local town, and all of a sudden the Viking Raiders, who are not from that town, are the biggest babyface team in the fucking roster. Such a strange way to do it, but it worked.
It worked. It was effective. And I mean, since then,
very effective.
I personally was thinking to myself, when are they gonna be fighting like people like the OC, people like who we have now, like Rude and Ziggler, people like the Usos, people like, you know what I mean, some legitimate tag teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
they're gonna take those belts off Rude and Ziggler for sure.
Yeah, that's just an awkward tag team.
It's awful.
It's an awkward tag team for sure. I'm not hating. I mean, they have a successful formula, but it's just an awkward tag team for me.
They've got a successful kayfabe formula.
They both like to show off.
They do.
Common ground.
Ways, they do. But the I don't know. It's just, it feels like Bobby Roode being straddled with fucking Dolph Ziggler, and to me that's just mean to Bobby Roode.
Now, who do you think's piggybacking who? Rude piggybacking Ziggler, or Ziggler piggybacking Rude?
I think Ziggler is riding on Rude's shoulders right now.
Really?
Well, not really, I guess. So, sorry, I guess what I really feel like is they're both in a place where the WWE didn't really know what to do with them. So they put the belts on them. But outside of that, they have no chemistry. Their team entrance is stupid. And Dolph Ziggler's a bum.
Speaking of bums, I should actually say that as I crack the beer. This segment is brought to you by the fact that I purchased Busch Ice and have decided to drink it at this moment. Busch Ice. Yeah. All right. So, oh my goodness. So we got another. I haven't seen this man in a couple of weeks, if not months. EC3.
EC3.
All right. Rusev is back, and having seemingly moved past all the paternity-related matters, the super athlete came to Raw with a similar mission of raising his stock in a short period of time leading up to the new WWE draft. In that regard, his performance on Raw was a rousing success. Facing EC3, the former United States champion, showcased his stamina in a ring awareness and his ring awareness by basically waiting for the top 1%, looking to raise his own visibility as well, to play directly into his hands. That he did, and Rusev didn't look back once he took control, sealing the match with an accolade that forced a near immediate tap out and surely made an expression on any scouts in attendance. To say nothing of the superstar who might be forced to share a locker room with his newly focused brute. To say nothing of the superstars who might share, yeah, he's just mad. All right.
I love him. We gotta love Rusev. Rusev's the best.
Yo, when he saw him came back, I was just like, who is that? Mustache.
Oh, man. Yeah, new mustache, who did?
Who is that mustache? You know what I mean? Wait a minute. Oh, shit, that's Rusev.
Unreal. Tom Selleck'd it up, and I love it.
You know what I mean? It was awesome.
You know? Yeah, it's amazing. I love it. I hope he keeps that mustache forever. Also, I'm sorry, 1 second here. The EC3, I am so confused with their decision to bring EC3 up to the main roster.
They're not doing anything with him.
They haven't done a goddamn thing with him except for having him stand around holding a solo cup a bunch of times. So, yeah, I don't know what the fuck that's about, but
well,
I think they should hurry up and put him back on NXT or give him something to do.
He did play Drake Maverick's Heavy for a while. When they were when he was pursuing R-Truth for the 24/7 title.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, bro, they were in pictures together.
Oh, in pictures together. Yeah, that wasn't, bro. If it ain't like spoken on television, it ain't shit.
Bro, it's less shit if it is spoken on television. That's where they make the shit up.
But that wasn't. I don't remember them ever doing that on TV. I remember them being pictures of like
Yeah,
on
there were
Twitter of
pictures.
them all together.
Yeah, they showed the pictures of him on TV. I swear he even.
They showed pictures of him. They didn't. This is what I mean, man. It wasn't ever a live thing where they were showing stories. They were showing his wedding pictures, like when they were all shirtless and stuff. That wasn't. I mean, that was just his real life.
Okay. I thought they were showing him as the heavy because he was in a few, different scenarios with him.
From the wedding, dog. Like they were at the bachelor party.
Bro, there was the bachelor party. I swear there were other pictures. But either way.
Either way, they never were. There was never storyline implication.
No, never a story. There was never a storyline. If you say there's no storyline, okay, no, but like.
And that's what I mean. If there was no storyline for it, then it didn't happen because there's no point to it. Because
you can't say it didn't happen. You can't say it didn't happen.
Every week about it, and I didn't remember. I don't even. You know what I mean? I can't even remember what part we're talking about where they showed pictures. I'm just certain it's ones that I've seen that were just his real life. Because like they barely mentioned his name on TV.
EC3?
You know? So, like,
this was months ago though. This was like months ago though.
I know. I mean, yeah, but I remember a lot of what happened during the Drake Maverick R-Truth feud. That's one of my feuds of the year. I love that shit.
It's still going on, actually. It's still going on.
I mean, Carmella is now, but it's nuts. So it's insane that they brought EC3 up for nothing. Is basically where that all started, and that's all I'm trying to say. There's no reason for him to be on the main roster right now because they're doing nothing with him.
I can't say I'm a big fan of him either way, so it doesn't really matter to me what they do with him. All right, this is your go.
Okay, so Sasha Banks defeats WWE Women's Tag Team Champion Nikki Cross. If there's anything we should take from Sasha Banks' return and reinvention, it's that she's out to demoralize her opponents just as much as she is to defeat them. The boss has turned sports entertainment into a one-sustained flex, which would help explain why she and Bayley have fixed their gaze so sharply on Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. After all, there are fewer statements greater than defeating a champion, and Sasha has been doing that consistently when it comes to the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. She and Bayley toppled Bliss and Cross last week, and the boss notched a singles victory over Cross tonight, putting even more wins at her back before Hell in a Cell and leaving the champ scrambling for footing in a division that has as wide open as it gets. Oh, what was that sound?
What's up? It sounds like there's music playing in the background somewhere.
No, there was it sounded like the phone was vibrating or something because it was tripping out.
Oh, yeah, it was. It's the Amber Alert.
Oh, okay. Where are we at? Okay, sorry. Despite an early burst of offense from the frenetic Cross, Banks was largely in control from the start, slowing the bout down to a crawl and reversing the wild sleeper hold with a backdrop to the arena floor when the match spilled to ringside. Most crucially, Banks waited for Nikki Cross to come to her, seemingly certain that she'd be able to counterpunch at the right moment. And when Cross caught fire after witnessing Bliss obliterate Bayley at ringside, that moment came. WWE's Twisted Sister dove at Banks with a top rope crossbody, and the boss rolled her over straight into the Banks statement for a submission victory. Adding insult to injury, Banks mangled Bliss in her signature hold after the bell, a clear message that the beatings will continue until or unless someone stops her.
Yikes.
Boom, she's a savage. Sasha's ratchet.
Oh, man. That match right there sounds like Sasha was just trying to prove a point.
That sounds like Sasha ratchet and prove points of how ratchet she crazy ass is.
I mean, don't say that every other word. What are you talking about? Like, I'll just say, her
chance. That's the chance she had for her entire part of her career when she was in NXT.
It's almost like the "you suck" for Kurt Angle. It's just entirely appropriate, but necessary. I wouldn't even say appropriate, necessary.
But the "you sucks" are appropriate because Kurt loves them, and they were from when he was a heel. Like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah, maybe it's just perspective. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
It could be just perspective. I'm seeing other things from yesterday that I don't want to be seeing right now, and it's throwing me off. Okay, at this point, wait, hold on. Lacey Evans defeats Ember Moon. At this point, facing Lacey Evans, if you aren't Natalia, should come with a warning sign. The sassy Southern Belle's singular pursuit of a tiebreaker against the Hart family heiress has now fueled 2 sharpshooter-induced victories in as many weeks. One came against a game but overmatched Ember Moon. Moon certainly possesses the kind of unpredictable style that could do well to combat Evans' stately power maneuvers, but the War Goddess, still trying to right the ship after a high-profile SummerSlam loss, may have been trying too hard. Despite a truly unique performance that sent her off the apron left Michael Cole aghast, Moon found herself subjected to the woman's right as she prepared to administer the Eclipse. Despite landing her sick punch, Evans once again ended the match via submission, locking her variation of Natalia's sharpshooter to secure the deciding tap-out. The Queen of Hearts wasn't overly impressed with Evans' imitation of her maneuver during a backstage interview. Decision-making mind was considering Evans the match she asked for anyway. The lady is a patient one. She may have with any substitutes on her way. What?
It's a weird feud still. I'm like still not all in on this feud. It's just kind of there for me. It just happens. It's just Lacey getting to kind of a bunch of the old division and then beating not a damn long. It does feel either of them. It does feel like all the great things. I mean, the cool they have doing Dark Trail. But yeah, very strange feud.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of strange, we about to talk about like, one of the strangest things that's happened since the 24/7 championship come into play, and that's all your play.
Sure. Carmella just R-Truth to become the new 24/7 champion.
What?
For 4 months, Carmella had R-Truth's trusty companion and running mate through thick and thin defending 24/7 champion. One superstar who seemingly never had it in her shirt, and was not the superstar title for her changes. So played on that death as course champion. How she did so with strategic genius, especially begging the monks to her a moment to go to true the ring and up to leading at the other stars at offers. Who seemingly effective by raising the new hand. The victory was short-lived. All new female mob with 20% will stood out of the locker room. Carmen drew the book on the wife and said the game's changed. Drake has work cut for him. Hilarious. The best part of this for me was when Truth attempted to get on Carmella's back a lot away from the female mob.
Oh man.
Same way that she had been jumping on his. And then, immediately they both just looked at each other like, this ain't gonna work. And then they just did the same thing as normal and she ended it with her on his back. I love it. I think it's genius. I think it shows how versatile this 24/7 title is, that it can be a men's title for like a few months and then it can be a women's title for a few months.
I think that's part of the reason I didn't buy it.
It's what?
That's part of the reason I didn't buy it. I felt like people would actually legit try to pin me for that title. And the cost.
That they try to pin Mella?
No, yeah, no, I'm saying, like, if we, like, in our circle of associates.
Yeah, I mean, we run with dirtbags.
We got friends in low places. We got a lot
of them.
Yeah, no, hey, man, like, they came out in full force, man. Like, I'm telling you, between our two tables, we had, like, 40, 50, 60 people.
Yeah,
crazy.
So, yeah, well, we had 1.5 tables on our side, yeah.
Yeah, we had 3 where we were.
Nice.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it was dope. It was a dope event.
We heard you guys in the Leroy chants. You and
me and Jacoby.
Yeah.
And then Rebel and E were all we were all chanting.
Yeah, I was in there with you. All right. Well, for those of you who don't know what we're talking about, recently we had the Niagara Music Awards where a mutual associate has been awarded for the Hip Hop Artist of the Year. It was.
Yeah, the Hip Hop Artist of the Year.
Yeah, Hip Hop Artist of the Year. So you know what I mean, like. Don't play around. We know what we do it. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what's up. Okay, so I gotta share this link one more time, and then I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna.
Pardon?
I had to share a link.
Oh, okay.
And then I had to come back. Okay, Chad Gable defeated King Corbin via disqualification. The peasants are revolting, or at least one of them is. And he was dealt with accordingly. Excuse me. Chad Gable, who lost in the King of the Ring tournament to the newly crowned King Corbin, just last week, has been waging a sustained one-man rebellion against His Grace ever since. An insurgency that provoked a brutal, if slightly desperate, statement from the King during a rematch of the King of the Ring final on Raw. Corbin got the last word. Corbin got the last word of the night is... Sorry. That Corbin got the last word of the night is news for the new monarch, who would charitably be described as divisive, that he had to resort to it all does not reflect quite so shiningly on him. Gable, after absorbing a slew of short jokes, used his size and speed to his advantage by wearing Corbin down and locking in a torturous ankle lock, which Corbin broke by seizing the scepter and bashing the Rebel on with it to provoke a disqualification. King Corbin continued to use his staff against Gable after, that says Cable, but it was Gable after the bell, leaving the folk hero despondent despite his nominal victory. Obviously, the outcome of this one match will serve as a warning to all King's opponents, which is that he wanted out of the night no matter what, but it was a poor look for His Highness, all the same, when Gable suddenly looks like a king in all but name.
Impressive rhyme scheme they did there. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that it's like a old what's it called? Like an old bard's song thing for the endo. I like this. I still like this feud. Corbin versus Gable should continue for a while. I want to see eventually Gable come out on top of this feud, and I want to see him win it over at a good pay-per-view at like Survivor Series, or maybe even Hell in a Cell to do it. Maybe have them have a chairs match or a no disqualification match, something crazy.
Yeah, that'll have to happen at like a TLC or something, because I think the card's full for this coming. Yeah.
For Hell in a Cell?
The card's full. I think the card's full. Yeah. I think the card's full for Hell in a Cell. Yeah, Hell in a Cell.
Right. Yeah, probably. It probably is. You're right. But either way, wherever they decide to do it, they should do it.
Yeah, no doubt. It is a
big match.
It is playing out, and like the David versus Goliath thing is always big in sports, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm liking this new wireless microphone that I just got. That's what I've been using for this podcast part. I don't have to lean too far. I can just kind of, I'm feeling good about this. Like, nice. I might have to get, I'm going to have to reset up some places so I can do my talk show better. But either way, this is you.
Oh, yep. Rey Mysterio won a fatal 5-way elimination match to challenge Universal Champion Seth Rollins on the season premiere of Raw. It's wild to think that just a few weeks ago, Rey Mysterio had one foot out the door after a demoralizing series of losses to Andrade. But since Rey's son Dominic convinced him not to hang up the mask, the ultimate underdog has been on an incredible roll, one that peaked on Raw with a massive fatal 5-way elimination victory that earns Mysterio a Universal title bout on next week's season premiere of Raw. On paper, Mysterio's box score doesn't indicate dominance. He only notched one elimination, but it's hard to overstate how clutch the former World Heavyweight Champion was in the sprawling match. We saw him line up against 3 reigning champions and a bona fide superhero. Ironically, all of those opponents largely canceled each other out. Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion from SmackDown Live, took out Ricochet with the Kinshasa. The United States Champion, AJ Styles, answered with a phenomenal forearm to the King of Strong Style. And Raw Tag Team Champion Robert Roode quickly dispatched Styles with a glorious DDT. That brought the bout down to Roode and Mysterio, and the old magic kicked in like clockwork. Though Rey had taken a beating throughout the bout, he had a little bit left in the tank at a critical juncture, evading glorious DDT and turned the Jets to land a 619 on Roode, which he followed up with a frog splash off the ropes for the win. Clearly, Mysterio is at the point where he can simply will himself to victory. No matter the odds, if he does it one more time, he'll change the landscape of WWE.
Yes, the ultimate underdog has come through the fog in order to swing for the fences like he's carrying a log.
Yep.
What? He did it before. I figure I might as well, make it succinct.
Yeah, but that was on a kingly thing.
Hey, man, I'm trying here. I'm trying.
I got for you, King.
You ain't got to Byron me, Graves. Speaking of which, how comes he just got ousted from the commentary team?
Wait,
Saxton and Phillips.
Yeah, because he was the worst.
I wouldn't say the worst, but he needed some work.
I know. Yeah, he was. He was. They're both very average. I don't know what they're doing with Tom Phillips right now. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. I also don't really know what they're doing with Byron, but I don't know. I've never been a huge Byron fan.
Honestly, the reason I was a big fan of Byron is because he was he added some color and some culture when they took away Booker T.
Yeah, I thought he was a very good. See, well, that's my problem with it, though. It's okay, so he was the only black guy on commentary, right? But he was also just a punching bag. The only thing he was there for was to get shit on by Graves.
Nah, everybody shit on him. Everybody. It wasn't even just Graves.
Yeah, even Tom Phillips. Even Tom Phillips shit on him.
Yeah.
And even once in a while,
terrible.
They drop a joke about him on Raw. It's just because he's very middle of the road, and they wanted to have someone to be up there as a punching bag. It's weird so far from not spoiling anything from this week, but with the new commentary team for Raw, it doesn't seem like they have a heel commentator.
No.
It doesn't seem like they have a heel. All three of them were face. Jerry was never even a heel. And I thought that was very strange. I was like, because I figured for sure Jerry was there going to be, heel commentator, heel Jerry. Not, obviously not sexual predator puppies Jerry, but, heel Jerry.
Terrible. That was so terrible. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, he was all about his puppies back in the day.
No, all about it. He was, there's literally T-shirts made with all exclamation and capital puppies based off of his love of kids.
Ain't nothing wrong with appreciating the female anatomy as long as you do it respectfully.
Hey, I'm with you.
As long as you do it respectfully.
I thought the King was very classy about it in the 90s.
Okay, so. Oh, hold on. Give me a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so the Fiend Bray Wyatt attacked Universal Champion Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman. Sharing is caring, said Bray Wyatt on the all-new Firefly Funhouse that aired in the middle of Raw. He even broke a Seth Rollins action figure in half to illustrate the point to Rambling Rabbit and Huskus the Pig Boy, who both liked the Beast Slayer and didn't want to share him. Wyatt's alter ego, however, was somewhat less open to the lesson of the day. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, reared his head once again on Raw, final moments, robbing Strowman of what was shaping up to be a decisive win against an increasingly overwhelmed Universal Champion. Rollins, visibly stressed going into his match, pulled out all the stops to defeat his former tag team partner and was answered with the full force of the monster among men. Wyatt made his appearance before Strowman could deliver the running power slam, muscling the big man down with the mandible claw before again creeping over to Rollins in the corner. Rather than menace the champion some more, however, Wyatt returned his attention back to Strowman, locking in a second mandible claw, moments before Raw faded to black. Sharing may be caring, but as far as the real Seth Rollins is concerned, it's looking like it might be a one man and one man alone. And looking like he might belong to one man and one man alone. Written by Anthony Benino. And shared to you courtesy of www.com/shows/raw/WWE-raw-September-23rd-2019. I feel like I have to do that in order to make it legit. Hello? Here you go.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I was about to hang up and call back. All right, cool.
Yep. No, I'm here. Sorry. This is a great ending to the show. And like I said, they should end with Bray fucking motherfuckers up every single week. Like, he is killing it right now.
Yeah, but, like, maybe not end it, but have it happen. Like, have it happen. Because, like, if you have it end every time, then it'll become redundant.
I'm more ignoring that it happens, what goes forward, and by a point, that's how it's gonna, because Seth's always the end. You know what I mean? He's going to fuck with Seth every chance before having himself.
Oh my gosh! There is so much that happened on Raw on fucking SmackDown this week.
What?
SmackDown is set to be lit this week.
Oh, yeah, I know.
I'm looking for the results. Past results. You are. There we go. The 24th, yeah. San Francisco, California hosts SmackDown Live. Well, they did last week, anyways. All right, you can start this off 600 at the last one.
Okay. Eric Rowan defeated Daniel Bryan. Eric Rowan kicked off Blue Bryan to much he destruction. Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan recent week. Bryan intercepted him and spear in the entire WWE locker room. Bryan interrupted Rowan and cut right to the chase. He wanted a fight right here, right now. A match between the former friends was quickly made official, and Rowan wasted no time imposing his will. Bryan fought back into the match by targeting Rowan's leg. In the clutch, Bryan seemingly had Rowan on the verge of defeat when he locked in the label lock, but Luke Harper came out of the crowd and distracted Bryan. The Beard sent Harper to the floor with a dive through the ropes, but Rowan took advantage of the opening by bombarding Bryan connecting with 2 Iron Claw slams for the win. Those Iron Claws were brutal during SmackDown last week.
Oh, man.
Eric and Luke continued the attack on Daniel after the bell, but Roman Reigns hit the scene to even the odds, and Reigns and Bryan
cleared the ring of their rivals. Clearly motivated by his dislike for Rowan and Harper, Bryan refused Reigns' attempt to help him to his feet and simply asked the WWE Universe if they wanted to see him and the Big Dog take down the 2 behemoths. Yeah, that's what happens. We gotta call the man back. Hello? We might have his answering machine. Hello? All right. Well, I mean, from what it seems, the answer was a familiar one-word reply. Yes. You all know whose team that is if you watch WWE. All right, so we're going to try calling back. Now I'm going to have to take the reins. Kofi Kingston spoke candidly on his WWE title match against Brock Lesnar. You. Yeah, okay.
Yo. Yeah, my phone, apparently when my phone gets an Amber Alert, it cancels the phone call.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's Bayface.
That's a very strange thing to do, especially if somebody was out looking for the Amber Alert and was on the phone and then it got cut off. That'd be strange. But yeah.
Very strange.
Kofi Kingston. Did you start that already?
No, I was about to. Actually, I did start it.
Yeah, do it up.
I just finished off where you left off because I figured they cut it off. Okay.
Perfect.
Kofi Kingston ain't scared. Although the WWE World Heavyweight Champion doesn't think you can truly prepare for the likes of Brock Lesnar, who will challenge him for the WWE title against the premiere of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox. Kingston believes that he is at the top of his game and ready for any challenge. Kofi was confident, and rightfully so, but is confidence enough to tame the beast? We'll all find out on Fox on Friday, October 4th.
Yeah, I I, I have a bad feeling about it. but
I mean,
I don't know.
like, I don't feel good about this either.
It's,
Like, I really don't. And
I mean, it's Brock Lesnar challenging for a title, so WWE map would indicate that most WWE map goes out the window, and the answer is Brock wins.
Brock wins the title.
Mm-hmm.
Like, unless Kofi drops him like 3 Trouble in Paradises. But then I just picture him going for a Trouble in Paradise and getting picked out of the air, and then an F5 dropped on him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think Brock has, some bad
Kofi,
plans
my
for
dude,
Kofi.
I ain't giving up faith in Kofi. I'll tell you that much. But like, he's got a big mountain to climb.
I've got all the faith in the world in Kofi, but it's not up to Kofi.
Not really.
Unfortunately. It's barely up to WWE.
It's up to the fans, bro. It's up to the fans.
It's up to Brock.
Well, yeah, because Brock will go off script.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't feel what he's scripted to do, he'll go off script. So
you saw that 3 Survivor Series ago against Randy Orton.
Randy Orton, yeah, that was off script.
Yeah.
That was a bloody mess. All right.
Yeah, it was a concussive mess. Chad Gable defeated Mike Kanellis. Poor Mike Kanellis cannot get a fucking break here.
Can't get a break like he doesn't know where Kit Kats are.
His fucking wife's gonna have another baby. Fucking, oh my god. Brutal.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. With Mike Kanellis still trying to prove a point to his pregnant wife Maria, he looked to get his career wholly back on track by besting Chad Gable on SmackDown Live. But Kanellis would, pardon the pun, come up short. Gable defeated Maria's husband with ease, finishing him off with the ankle lock, but the King of the Ring finalist was yet again subjected to ridicule when Elias appeared on the Titantron and mocked Gable with a song about Gable being short. However, the thing getting shortest may be Gable's patience for the insults. Oh, man, I forgot about this, so I guess maybe him versus Corbin is over.
Not necessarily. Well, maybe, because now it looks like Elias is going to be his next assailant, or next opponent.
Boo! I love Elias, but boo! More Gable versus Corbin.
Oh, man. Oh, what a way to fucking break the... Oh, my... Look at the look on Charles... That's not Charles Pattinson. What's
Charles
his name?
Robinson.
Charles Robinson. Look at the look on Charles Robinson's face. Like, he's got that...
I would not be able to sell that well in the middle of that match. I would be smiling ear to ear, staring.
Like, it's... Like, oh my gosh, the impact on that move must have been devastating. If you don't know what I'm talking about, and you got an open browser, go to WWE.com, click on shows, click on archive results.
You go to SmackDown and then go down to results.
Go to SmackDown, then go to results, and then click on the SmackDown for September 24th, and then scroll down to see Sasha Banks and Bayley defeating Carmella and Charlotte Flair. The picture is crazy. Okay.
Yeah, it's nuts.
SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley and Sasha Banks blindsided Charlotte 7 days ago on SmackDown after many weeks of tension between the Queen and Bayley. Carmella came up to Charlotte's aid to defend Sasha and Bayley, Sasha and Bayley, setting up this tag team match tonight on SmackDown Live. With Carmella unexpectedly winning the 24/7 champion the night before on Raw, the new champion would have to focus on the task at hand while the 27 title rule was temporarily suspended for the contest. The Queen and Princess Mella proved effective while teaming together for the first time and attempting to slow the recent reign of terror by Bayley and Banks. But when the boss locked in the bank statement on Carmella, however, it was an academic submission victory. With Mella down and R-Truth knowing that the arrival of the competitors looking to capture the 24/7 title was now imminent with the match over, the rapping superstar put the nearly unconscious Carmella on his back and bolted through the WWE Universe as the litany of female superstars gave chase. Princess Mella was now gone, but the Queen remained, and she was outnumbered by Bayley and the Boss. Charlotte attempted to fend them off, but Banks and Bayley downed the Queen. Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch rushed out to even the odds, sent Sasha flying across the ring with a couple of Bex floaters, forcing the former WWE Women's Tag Team Champions to retreat. However, Banks wouldn't retreat for long as she reappeared later in the night, blindsided Becky from behind during the man's backstage interview. Banks brutalized the Irish last kicker, shoved her face first into a chain-link fence, and then left her with one clear message. This is her women's division.
Yeah, I mean, I love this feud. They are killing it. Sasha's doing her best work since I'd say actually even better than the stuff she was doing with Charlotte when she was good last.
Yeah, I literally was. I agree with you on that wholeheartedly. Like the Banks versus Becky has there's something more raw to it than Charlotte versus Banks. It's almost like
Sasha found her fire again. It's one of those things where some people didn't realize that she had lost her fire because she was still always good, but like she was not doing her best work over the last couple of years. Like ever since the end of the Charlotte feud, that she was not doing her best work. And now she is doing her best work ever, I think. Like, this is better than she's ever been. And she's killing it with the acting. She's killing it with the in-ring stuff. The only thing that I've been able to complain about with her since she's been back is her ability to swing a chair. Because her chair shots always look pretty soft. But everything else, she is so high level right now. It's amazing.
Yeah, I don't think having to swing a chair ranks high on her list of priorities. But with TLC coming up,
it should, because she did it for 3 weeks straight.
Yeah.
Poorly.
TLC coming up, that's probably about to change too.
You know what I'm saying? She should probably work on that because she's got everything else down pat. She should just learn to make those chair shots go a little bit faster.
Sell the chair shots, Sasha. Sell the chair shots.
Well, not even selling it, just actually swing it. Swing it well.
That's what I mean. Sell them.
She can take a chair shot like a motherfucker. And those ones that she took from Becky were gangster. She's selling them like water in the desert, but she is not throwing those bows into it when she swings the chair.
Okay. All right, we got the next one coming up. That's you.
Yep. Is Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Ali. Ali and Shinsuke Nakamura never got to have their scheduled match last week as WWE's Rockstar and Sami Zayn administered a pre-bell beatdown of the high-flying superstar. This week, Ali and Nakamura picked up where they left off earlier this summer, with Ali looking to get a major victory over the Intercontinental Champion. WWE's Rockstar was staggered by Ali's onslaught, which included an unbelievable dive through the ropes that sent Nakamura and himself crumbling to the ringside floor.
Boom.
Ali looked to be closing in on victory, but Zayn distracted Ali and led him on a chase from ringside into the squared circle, and Nakamura hammered his foe with a Kinshasa for the win. Not just a Kinshasa for the win, a Kinshasa for the ages. That was a beautiful Kinshasa.
It was not nice, bro.
No, it was vicious.
I'm telling you. I'm all about this fucking wireless microphone right now, though.
Dope.
Oh, man. All right. So, yeah, no, it was a well-fought match. I believe I saw this one. Ali, like, I kind of got mad at Ali for chasing Zayn around the ring. I'm like, dude, why are you running? You know it's just going to... Oh, Kinshasa. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. It is what it is, and it was what it was. We got the New Day defeating the B Team.
New Day is doing big things right now.
Yes, indeed. Two of SmackDown Live's top tag teams look to inch closer to a title opportunity against SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The Revival.
Top guys.
As the New Day squared off against the B Team, go, on the blue brand. Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas showed up with a major aggressive edge, but no intensity in the world was enough to withstand the midnight hour from Big E and Xavier Woods as they secured an imperative tag team victory. Not like I'm trying to read like 3-paragraph long things all the time, but why is this so short?
Because it was a short match.
Okay.
And overall was a useless match that was strictly to give, reason for Xavier Woods and Big E to be gifted another chance to be in the ring
Nothing
with top
about
guys.
nothing about the New Day is a waste of time. You hear me?
Except, not a waste of time. More of a
filler?
An inevitability.
Okay, all right.
It was that they, like we didn't need to see them beat another team for them to get another chance at the top guys. Like we knew that was going to be the thing because, to be brutally honest, there's not a whole lot of other tag teams that they've been putting in the mix on SmackDown as much recently.
Yeah, true. They've been focusing more on the women and the IC title, I find.
Yeah, exactly. But which is annoying as shit to me because it's like, man, top guys are the champs. Let's get some shit to do for the top guys. And they're just like, okay, well, let's have match number 84 between the New Day and top guys.
Yeah, but
and it's like I love matches with the New Day. I love matches with B Team. I'd love to see the Revival versus the Usos again. Like that's a crazy one that we haven't seen in a while.
I want to see a triple threat match between the New Day, the Usos, and the Revival.
Pardon?
A triple threat match between the New Day, the Usos, and the Revival. That would be fucking nuts.
Yeah, that would be for sure.
Tables, ladders, and chairs, bro.
Sorry, I think that's a good pay-per-view match for sure.
Tables, ladders, and chairs.
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
Tables, ladders, and chairs. TLC.
Yes, for sure. That is a great pay-per-view match. I'm talking about the week-to-week stuff. I want to see some other stuff too, and it can't all. I don't want a bunch of triple threat matches. I'd like to build into a triple threat match, but I'd like to see some more high-level tag team matches going on too.
They're gonna have to bring some more high-level tag teams back. Like, I mean, the Lucha House Party, Lucha House Party versus Revival wasn't that bad.
No, yeah, it was. That was awful.
No, it wasn't that bad. I don't think.
Yes, it was. Every week they came up with new rules.
Yeah, but then they had to overcome.
It was stupid and gimmicky. All they did was create new rules for no reason. It was so weird. It was like, oh, it's Lucha House rules. What's that mean? Well, it means everybody can go in whenever they want. What? Like, okay. So
who was making those rules, anyways? Like, it wasn't
what?
It wasn't the Lucha House Party making those rules. Someone else was, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
No.
Guess I gotta pay more attention to this stuff.
Who made it other than the Lucha House Party? Of course, it's Lucha House Party rules. It was like WWE putting that on the matches and stuff, obviously. And I mean, that's all kayfabe anyway. Regardless, nobody thinks that they're coming up with rules. They don't even talk on microphones. That's not the point. The point is that feud. I don't know what part of it you're remembering, but it was literally stupid squash matches all the time.
I meant more of the action between the action that happened between the teams. Like it was fast paced. It was high octane. Yeah, it's the matches. Like some of them were squash matches, but I mean for entertainment value, that it was there for me, anyways. Like clearly we have two different perspectives, but
yeah, but I mean this was a squash match, right? And Bo Dallas and Curtis get wheeled out every once in a while to get a squash match. Like that's just how it works with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. Unfortunately, those boys don't get to do much other than get squashed or be in teams where they're buried by 7 other teams at the same time. But and I like squash matches as well. The problem is when it's when everything is forced, right? It just takes away from where they stuff they could be doing when they're not doing anything serious with it. You know what I mean? Like comedy stuff in wrestling is great, but comedy stuff in wrestling without any of the serious stuff to back it up ends up making it all kind of more gimmicky and jokey and campy. And none of us want to go back to 80s campy wrestling.
No, not really.
Right? That's all I mean. I think we both feel the same way on most of the stuff. It's just that it doesn't this fight, this match, right, didn't feel like it had any actual implications because we all knew Big E and Xavier Woods were going to beat Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel.
But Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, when they won the tag titles. Like
it was out of nowhere and a joke.
Yeah, it was out of nowhere and a joke. That's what I'm saying. You never know, like, if they're gonna, like taking it WWE math into consideration. You never know if they're gonna swing one of those, like, swing it that way one time with
right.
the B team
but
specifically.
This wouldn't be that though, because they weren't facing the champs, right? This was them going on the normal route to get there. So when they were winning to be goofs, right? It was like a whole setup shtick of them doing roll-ups out of nowhere and, like, luckily getting a 3 count, right? Like, every single one of their wins was a fluke.
Wait, didn't they beat the Revival for the title?
Yeah, by fluke. Literally
okay,
3
no,
weeks in a row.
I understand where it's coming from now. Okay.
Well, yeah. Well, once again, I'm okay with people beating the Revival as long as, like, there's something going on. When they beat the Revival 3 weeks in a row by accidental roll-up, that's a stupid 3 weeks of television where I've wasted my time watching fucking tag team wrestling.
And on that note, the Kabuki Warriors defeat Fire and Desire.
See? Good match between two teams that both win regularly.
But I'll revise my previous statement because yeah. Well, then again, never mind. I won't even speak on anything. But yeah, that's you.
Sorry, what?
Because I remember we had a conversation about the WWE, the women of WWE and their posteriors, and who was packing and who was lacking.
Oh yeah, this is a packing match. Definitely a packing match. With each team looking to rise up the ranks towards another opportunity at the WWE Women's Tag Team titles, the Kabuki Warriors clash with Fire and Desire. In crunch time, Asuka downed Mandy Rose, and Kairi Sane finished her off with the insane elbow for the win, much to Sonya Deville's disappointment.
Was the match that quick?
I actually called her Sonyaville like she's Nelly.
Sonyaville? What?
Hot in her.
Hot in her.
Yeah, it was a good match.
It looked like short. It looked like it was a quick one.
It was a short match, but it was both teams got actual offense in for a little bit.
Okay.
And I don't know, it was just, for one thing, it was actually nice to see Kabuki Warriors given a win. They haven't won in a little while.
Okay.
And it was in a logical way. It wasn't, they're not having them be a goof or a joke or anything. So that was dope. But yeah, I'm excited to see where they go with this. Hopefully they continue pushing the women's tag team division. I feel like we see women's tag team matches or like competitors get thrown into singles feuds for no reason more than the men. Like every once in a while we have stuff like with the Revival with Top Guys getting thrown in with Randy Orton against the New Day, which made sense sort of because Randy had 3 people to go against. And you don't want the bad guy to be the one who's outnumbered in most scenarios. Usually that makes better for good guys. But it seems like weird to me that the women's tag team champions are just like thrown around as basically, snacks to the women's title scene.
Huh.
It just seems like a strange habit.
I'm not really seeing much in the way of potential, future potential suitors for the women's championships.
Kabuki Warriors, Fire and Desire.
No. I mean, I'm not seeing a clear number one contender for the women's title for Raw or SmackDown after this. After Hell in a Cell.
After her. I think when Sasha wins, she'll probably face off with, Ember Moon will probably get a crack at it. I think there's a chance that Charlotte is face and takes a crack at it. With Sasha for the Raw one again. For Bayley's side, Bayley's definitely going to face Ember Moon. That's a goddamn certainty. I think Natalya has to get another title shot at some point. But I don't know when or against who, or if you turn her heel or keep her face or what you do. I don't know. There's a weird gap right now.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about, though.
Leaving. I don't know. I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying I don't know if I don't know. Becky's going to be gone for a little bit, I think. Bayley and Sasha are both heel and will probably both be champs for a while. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. Carmella, maybe, if the 24/7 championship goes back to the guys or goes to a woman or an NXT person grabs it or, whatever they want to do with it. They can
well, we'll
do
see.
anything, really.
We'll see how it goes in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
All right. Now we got Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon to settle their lawsuit in unreal fashion. Shane McMahon wanted the answers as to what Kevin Owens will do after hitting Shane with the $25 million lawsuit last week. Shane's counteroffer was simple. If KO drops the lawsuit, then Shane McMahon would drop the fine, and he had imposed against Owens to reinstate him onto SmackDown Live. A fair deal, but Owens wasn't with it. Instead, KO wanted Shane gone from SmackDown, and his thought on how to go about it was quite fitting. A match. If Shane wins, Owens would drop the lawsuit and stay fired. But if KO wins, Shane would be fired. As for the type of match, Owens had a very specific idea. Put the stipulation down on paper, put that piece of paper in a briefcase, and then literally climb the ladder in a ladder match. I had to say it like that. It felt right.
Hell yeah.
It just felt right.
Yep.
Channeling my inner Vinnie Mac. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so what's your take on this?
I love it. This is exactly what we should have gotten a while ago. Shane taking his exit from the company seems pretty inevitable right now. And yeah, like I said, it'll be nice to not have to hate Shane for a while, so that when he comes back, if he comes back ever, then there'll be some space. Sorry, there'll be some space between it, and yeah, I think this is great, and it'll always be a good match if you give Shane something to jump off of.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get that, and then we'll get Kevin will probably do something fucked up too, because Kevin likes to do crazy wild boy shit. So we'll see where they go with this. I'm excited. I love that that's happening on Friday.
Yeah. Except I have Hardline with interpretive block.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be Hell in a Cell, but that's awesome.
Yeah. That's going to be crazy. So you got McMahon versus Owens. You got the Four Horsewomen fighting. You got Brock versus Kofi. Next week's SmackDown, or Friday's SmackDown, is shaping up to be one hell of a show.
Yeah, absolutely. This week's SmackDown is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I am very, very, very excited for that, for sure.
All right. We at the hour and 5-minute mark of Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock. Yeah, bro. All
right.
I think our bantering got in the middle of our recaps.
Yeah, we're talking about beer and the Niagara Music Awards for a while in the middle there.
Yeah. It's all good, though, because both of them go hand in hand.
Absolutely. So here, we're gonna do what we did last week with this. I'm gonna go over the headline stuff basically. Did you watch NXT this week?
No, bro. Honestly, I haven't been able to catch any of this shit this week.
So Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic have been having a little bit of a big man's feud. It's ridiculously sized and ridiculously has eyes. Keith Lee has been going over pretty regularly, it seems, 2 weeks in a row. Keith Lee.
Is that the big black guy? For lack of a reference? Is that the big black guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. That's as such.
Yeah. So he's won the last 2 weeks in a row. He is awesome. He's money. He's got stars all over him. One day he's going to be very, 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 very popular on the main roster. His Twitter is amazing. Anybody who's following him, definitely check out his Twitter. And Dominic Dijakovic, he's a good in-ring guy. He's been in NXT for quite a while. But one of the things where every time it seems like they're getting ready to kind of start pushing him stuff, an injury or something get changed, and it haven't gone that way for him. Hoping that's something they can do with him that kind of shows him off a bit more. But he was killing it, so hope that's the best. Next we have Dakota Kai defeat Tanar Conti. Tanar Conti is very good, but Dakota Kai is my girl. She is amazing. She's one of the baddest asses in NXT. She kills it. She looks like she could be like your sister. Like, they look very similar, except for the fact that Dakota is an Aussie. And she's great. Everybody definitely go check her out if you haven't. Then we had Matt Riddle versus Killing Dane in a free fight for an NXT change opportunity this week. So tomorrow night there will be a match, Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole Bebe for the NXT title. It's the first NXT title match since it moved to USA. After that, we had the second hour, which is the NXT on WWE Network section of the show. I'll just go over this quickly. There wasn't too many big moves on this. They had Rhea Ripley from NXT UK come over and kick the shit out of a jobber named Caden Carter. Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch defeated the team Everrise, which is a pair of young Canadian boys who are jobbers.
That sucks. You gotta stop jobbing Canadians.
Pardon?
They gotta stop jobbing Canadians.
Well, I mean, we need. I
need our way in.
Canadians are jobbers.
We need our way in, but still. So.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Well, Kevin Owens is holding it down for the Canadians still.
Yep. Cameron Grimes defeats Raul Mendoza. Cameron Grimes, people probably know him better as Trevor Lee, but you can't be called Trevor Lee as a new NXT member when they just signed a big black dude named Keith Lee. That people will get confused, and Keith was there first, so Trevor Lee becomes Cameron Grimes. That was a great match. Cameron, it was literally like 4 seconds long. Homeboy ran across the ring at Cameron. Cameron stood up, stomped the guy from a standing position and pinned him, and it was over. So that was really good. And then we had the main event. This match is the one that everyone should go back and watch. We had Kushida, the ticking time bomb, a.k.a. Japanese Marty McFly, teaming up with Breezango, defeating Imperium, which is the team of Alexander Wolf, Fabian Eichner, and Marcel Bartel.
And Walter.
Well, Walter was not there.
Walter wasn't there? It's showing him here.
Well, so he shows up at the end, but that was not the match.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just looking at the featured.
Because it's just sorry, what?
I was looking at the featured wrestlers, or the featured superstars. Yeah.
So it was a 6-man tag match between Kushida and Breezango versus Imperium, which is those three. And afterwards, when Kushida had taken out all of Imperium, as he was leaving, Walter showed up at the end and boot-fucked Kushida right in the face on the ramp. And then that was the end. This
is all thanks to Jordan Garriston. We have all these informations about NXT for the titles.
Actually, we kind of just used the headlines.
Yeah, I know, but who came up with the headline? I'm just giving credit where it's due, bro.
True.
You know what I mean? Good looks for you to have the memory to even remember most of this stuff.
I Like I said, NXT is some of the best wrestling you can watch on TV right now. Like
yeah, it's unfiltered, bro.
It's special every week. Yeah, it's very good.
Exactly.
But yeah, so the last thing for the professional wrestling side is that tomorrow night we have the debuting Wednesday Night Dynamite from AEW.
Wednesday night?
That starts at 8 p.m. Eastern and is on TNT. Definitely check it out. See how they're doing. I'm excited to see how it runs, like production-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like their 2 pay-per-views they've run so far have both had some fairly glaring technical problems or production errors. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like when they're starting an actual weekly television show, because you kind of have to be, you kind of have to hit the ground running when you're on weekly TV on cable, right? Because if somebody sees it and it looks like trash, that's like not a hardcore fan already. If they're just flipping through, it's likely to kind of turn them off. So they gotta hit the ground running, and it's going to be very, very cool to see what they do. I think they're going to kill it. I just hope they have, thought of as many of the variables as they possibly can.
All I know is we're going to have a hell of a lot of wrestling to go over.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, man. That's what's up. But it's all good. It's all good. That's what we're here for.
There's a lot.
Tough talk to Thili in the block. What up?
Sorry, what?
I just said.
Just saying.
No, you go first.
I was just gonna say, there's the last thing that we really got would just be there was a big UFC fight night on Saturday. There was a whole lot of decisions, but there was also some pretty big knockouts. The main event was Jack Hermanson versus Jared Cannonier, and it ended in 27 seconds into the second round. The first round was was hard fought by both guys, but the second round was a real immediate slaughter. Then there was also Mark Madsen versus Daniel Beluardo. That was a 1-minute KO into the first round for Mark Madsen, who is 9-0 now. And then the other one that was pretty impressive was there was a decision. There was a fight in Bellator 228 that was also on Saturday, where there was a crazy ass knockout in 6 seconds into the first round. Definitely worth looking up. Just look up Bellator 228 knockouts.
Check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, that is it. That is all of the fight stuff that I have in my head.
Here at Tough Talks with Thili in the Block, we go over combat sports and their availability. So if we haven't listed or we haven't talked about it, nothing probably happened. Nothing worthwhile. Anyways,
yep.
we got Thili Graves over here. You know what I mean? We got Block Saxton. No, we got Blocker T. Oh man, we just here, you know what I mean, giving you a quick rundown. Check out our shows. We got other shows happening on this channel. We have the Terrell Effect that happens every Saturday at 12 p.m. We got Hardline that happens every Friday around 6. We have Candid Conversations that happens on Wednesdays at 6. And we also have Tough Talks with Thili on the Block that happens sometime between Sunday and Tuesday.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
All right. So, anything else you got to say?
No, that is it for this week. That's all I got, man.
All right, cool. So wherever it is and wherever you be, tune in to us for the 1, 2, 3.
Boom.